What's up, guys? It's here from the DC vs Marvel podcast, and this is Views from the Cave. And as you can see, I'm in the cave and these are my views. And today I want to talk to you guys about R-Pat's and his comments there about the new Batman film. Now, quick kind of thing there, if you guys haven't actually seen what he's been saying, he had an article in GQ looking very emaciated and very typical R-Pat's, very kind of art housey kind of look basically, and he was talking about generally about his career, also about the Batman, which is the biggest project that he's involved with right now, and what his preparations are like and stuff like that. Now, quick kind of thing about R-Pat's there himself. He is one of these guys who basically, after his success in the Harry Potter films and also in the Twilight films, he was offered many different roles in kind of many different big blockbuster films, but he pretty much rejected it. He decided that he wasn't going to go for those roles there, and instead he decided to go for these more kind of art house, smaller kind of roles. And also at the same time, he decided that he was going to go for these kind of these roles that his friends were writing or directing or whatever, rather than these kind of big roles. And obviously the Batman is his biggest role pretty much to date, probably the most recognizable superhero that is out there, and one of those ones where every single film that is ever made about this guy is about this character is a success, right, and makes tons and tons of money and is talked about there for a long time, right? So he has come into this role there. Now, it's very interesting because when you see that he's come into this role, it's because he's friends with Matt Reeves, right? And Matt Reeves is part of that kind of London set there, where they're all kind of mates there together. Edgar Wright, him, all of those kind of like London actors and directors, right? And all of these actors and directors they have their own muses, and they kind of like keep within themselves, so they try and give like certain roles there to people who are their friends and who they know there very well. So R-Pat has obviously got into this thing. He is a very good actor, right? I'm going to give him that. I would say that any role that he has been portraying, when you look at The Lighthouse, when you look at some of these other things that he's been doing there recently, he's done really, really well, right? But one of the big things that I have, especially about DC, right? This is one of the things that I look at there when you're somebody who is a fan of comic books and a fan of the character, a particular character, right? You want to have this character portrayed, when it comes to a screen adaptation, to be something that you recognize, to be something that you've seen there before, right? Different people have different favorites. Some people like the 40s Batman, some people like the Jason Fabok Batman, some people like the Grant Morrison Batman, some people like the Scott Snyder Batman, right? Different people like different things. And of course there are different iterations of Batman there, going all the way from the 40s till now, pretty much, right? However, one of the things that kind of links all these characters there together is this kind of overriding theme of the fact that the Batman is in absolute peak physical condition, and he is also in peak mental condition, right? Now, what I mean by that is obviously he is slightly mentally unstable when it comes to his parents, right? However, he tries to be the best that he can be, right? He researches like crazy, to try and become that super intelligent, super evolved kind of detective, right? Way above like the police and stuff like that. Also, when it comes to the physical thing, many times in the comic books you've seen the fact that he is trained to be the best physical specimen that he can do, and he's pretty much Olympic athlete level, right? Now, that's perfectly fine there, that when I see directors and they say that we want to have our own take there of it, right? That's fine, right? But so far, whenever I've seen these kind of films, I've never actually seen the true Batman in a film, right? Michael Keaton did his own thing. Okay, we have we have Ben Affleck doing his own thing. We have Christopher Nolan's Batman doing its own kind of thing. They were all kind of there and there between, but none of them have been like the Batman in the comic books. So as fans, we kind of want something to be like it is in the comic books. But once again, they're not only creating something that is nothing like the comic books, but the actors and the directors are trying to create something that is as separate as they can possibly do. And you've got an actor there in Robert Pattinson who's saying in his interview that, you know, even though his personal trainer was saying to push some weights and do some exercise, he's done nothing. He's just sitting around doing nothing, and he doesn't understand why, you know, characters such as the Batman and these other people who get in peak physical condition in Hollywood are the type of people who get these kind of roles. And it's the kind of thing there that, you know, he mentions James Dean and says that James Dean wasn't in peak physical condition. Why should he be? That's perfectly fine, but you're not playing a rebel with a cause. You are playing Bruce Wayne and the Batman. You need to be in this peak physical condition. The second thing that he said, which is even more kind of controversial, is the fact that they're kind of working on things right now, right? And this is where it kind of interests me, because when they're talking about the film, obviously Matt Reeves says that, you know, he's got his script in place, he's got his ideas in place, etc. But from what Robert Pattinson is saying, there is a particular route they want to go down, and he's thinking about, okay, when we get back into production, we want to make it more colourful, we want to make it very different to the comic books, and we want to make it very different to the films that we've seen there so far. Why would you do that? Why would you make the character different to the comic books? Now, I would understand if there had been 15 different iterations of comic book based Batman, right? But there hasn't. So far on the screen, we've never seen a comic book accurate Batman, right? Okay, the fight scenes in BVS, maybe, but as the Batman itself, the rest of the time, can you actually say to me that was the same as the comic books? Of course not, right? All of these kind of things there, you know, the iterations of Batman that have come through are nothing like the comic books. So when once again a director, and especially the lead actor, says, do you know what, I'm not going to bother training, and I'm also going to make it that the actual action itself and the way that it's portrayed is much more colourful, much more modern, etc., makes me kind of cringe, because I think to myself, you know what, for all Marvel's faults and for the amount that I dislike the MCU, one of the things that they do is they try and show the characters the way that they are. They fail a lot of the time with Hulk, etc., but they try to kind of do it. With this, it's like they're actively trying to make it different. When it comes to Birds of Prey, you see the way that they're treating Cassie Kane and Black Mask and Victor Zsasz. They're actively trying to make it different, okay? And the problem is that none of these people are as talented as Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan can take something, he can make it different, and you'll think it's awesome. A lot of these guys, they're a lot less talented. They're trying to do the same thing. It doesn't work, and people are like, oh, okay, yeah. Now, Matt Reeves is a talented guy, right? But he needs to kind of stick away from this thing of like, you know what, I'm going to make it completely different than anything that anybody's ever seen. He needs to get back to the roots of the character, the way that it was, whatever era, and he needs to tell us, right, we're going for the 40s era, we're going for the golden age, we're going for the silver age, we're going for the rebirth, we're going for the new 52, and then at least as fans will know what his target is. Guys, obviously I'm still eagerly anticipating this film, but the more and more stuff they say about this, the more it dampens down what I'm seeing. And I do not want a modern, what we say is modern nowadays, which is, you know, whatever we say, like woke, I guess, is the word there for it. I don't want to be seeing that iteration of Batman. I want to be seeing the guy who is in all these freaking comic books there behind me. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about Rob Pattinson's kind of points there that he made in the GQ article, and what are you expecting in this film? Are you still hopeful there for it, or do you think that the fact that the actor is not bothering with any form of physical training, and also at the same time they want to have a much more colourful and and modern Batman, that this could potentially be a absolute shit show. Until then, guys, let me know what you think in the comments there down below, but don't fight, and we'll see you again next time.